Hey guys, so today I wanted to sum up. Okay, so what got me thinking was the other day again, we had that a bit of a media uproar about this company, Metropolitan, charging a lot of money, and it got me thinking about why are companies doing this? Because the people running it, I presume, are quite intelligent people running that company. So if they've been running this company for a long time, they're doing things their way for a reason, and we can't just say, well, they're stupid, they're silly, they don't know how to run a business. They're running, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of business all over Australia for many years. So they must have some kind of idea of why they're doing that. So we have to respect that a little bit, right? So it got me thinking about a lot of things, um, and really comes down to tradesmen, plumbers, um, people working physically. Um, you know, in many ways, we have got the short end of the straw in society. So, what I mean by that is technology has improved everywhere throughout the world, from computers, software, all that kind of stuff. And the people in technology, their incomes have grown with it because the amount they output they bring has gone with it. And while plumbers and stuff like that and tradesmen have not got so much, so me and Heather were going for a walk and we met one of these tradesmen, and so we started talking to him, and he was like explaining to us like he's done lots of work in the area. And this sounds like I literally felt like I've walked 30 years into my childhood when I saw this. He pulled out this book. It's I don't even know what it's called in different languages, different countries, but it's a road directory. So instead of using your phone as a GPS, it's like a road, like a directory. You open it up, and inside it's got every single street, and it's a thick book, and it's got everything. And he's marked in there what job sites he went to, what areas he's done. He was explaining, I've done so much work in your area to try to build our trust and show us that he's a good tradesman in his field. So it got me thinking, okay, so why are these companies charging this? What's charging this? How do we compare this? And how does it relate to us as a company? And how do we communicate this to the customers? And what's our differentiation? Now, the end is what I'm going to get to. The point of this all is our technology in this company is so impressive that it blows almost every company out of the water in many ways. And are we going to be rewarded for that? No, unless the client knows that they're comparing our product with another product, that this is the difference they get through us, they will never want to pay that amount of money. They won't realize the value they're getting. So that guy with this road directory, can you imagine dealing with him? Hey, I've got a problem with this thing. He probably doesn't even have a mobile phone. Wouldn't be, he doesn't have anybody answering his calls. He wouldn't have, the thousand other things that you would appreciate in that. How does he write an invoice? How does he do his warranties? Like, I don't know. Like, he doesn't have email. He's got nothing. Like, he doesn't even, I don't even think he has a phone. So all these basics, you're like, oh, well, he's going to come to my house. He's going to paint my house or render my house for 3,000. What a bargain. The other company was charging 6,000. But the other company has email, has project management, has an office, has all these things that you would rely on. And when push comes to shove, when you need those things, it's not going to be there if you go with that other guy. So that's pretty much a summary of what I'm trying to get to. Technology. So if you were born, like, say, in the 1990s or 80s, and you went into information technology, you were paid, a certain amount. As technology and the internet grew, the platform, the technology that you had to work with improved. So your output when you worked improved from the 80s to 90s. So your pay went up. The management and the own business owners are like, well, because you do more with your time, you are paid more. Can you see that concept? Because you're doing more with your time, you are paid more. And then it's gone up and up and up and up. So right now, using software engineers and using apps and all this kind of stuff, anybody involved in that is paid more. In the meantime, if you look at the trades industry, a lot of this technology rewards, like, we're using like hand drills and machinery that we didn't have back then. We were using eels in the 1970s. Now we have high pressure jetters, which are about 4 or 5 times more efficient but expensive to buy as well. And so these physical tools that we have, B-press, which is very impressive, it only takes 15 seconds to shut open copper, while welding it led to a whole heap of issues. You couldn't get the welder, you burned things behind it, you had to wear your eyeglasses to make sure you don't burn yourself. If there was any water in there, it would just steam up. So all those technologies have changed. So now you use B-press. It's like a machine that welds 2 pieces of copper. I should have had some examples already. But so plumbing has improved. The people have gotten a lot more educated in plumbing, yet not rewarded for it, not appreciated for it, because they're saying that, well, every plumber's the same, so you're all paid this standard hourly rate. It doesn't matter if that plumber doesn't have the right tools, is still thinking from thoughts from the 1930s, is not doing it in the most efficient way. Really, if you're working on an hourly rate, you are being rewarded to be the slowest plumber, do it in the worst way possible, make sure there is more work so that you can charge more hours, and you hold no responsibility. If the job goes bad and the customer calls you back, you're like, well, I didn't have enough time to do it, I need to come back and charge you more. So your warranties don't even count anymore. So, what are we comparing one side to the other to? So, back to this thing of, technology. So what is technology? Technology is not a computer, it's not a robot, it's not some automation, that's not technology. Technology is everything that's taken us from here to here. Wearing clothes is a technology. It keeps us warm and sheltered and feeling safer and more comfortable. So all these technologies, fire is a technology. All these technologies have improved, yet people out there don't realize how much it's improved and the value they're getting. So to bring it back to our specific company, if someone says to you, hey, this job here, you're doing, so if someone comes and does a basic plumbing job, they go there, they change the tap, they fix it, they leave. There isn't much technology that's changed from back then to now. A little things have changed, the tools that you use, the hand drills that you use, diamond held drill bits to get inside, tiles. That's changed a little bit, but it's not significant changes. The only thing that's really changed is the skills of the plumber, how fast they do the work. When you make a phone call, you get there quickly. We're using phone and internet to get there quickly. So those technologies have changed. But really, when it comes down to it, if we're doing, say, 30 years ago, if I came to your house and you had a blocked stormwater drain, that's where all the water from the rainfall goes through into the main government area, and you had a blocked stormwater or a damaged stormwater, and you needed that repaired, plus your gutter was a little bit damaged, and plus you had a roof leak at the top as well. So usually you'd call a plumber, they'd come to your house, they'd be like, oh, well, I can fix your stormwater, can you get someone else to do that? And then someone else will say, can you get someone else to do that? So you become the technology, the middleman, and you won't usually be able to find someone that will do the whole project as a whole. So in that case, what can go wrong is, say you got the stormwater fixed, you got the downpipe of the house fixed, and you got the roof fixed, and it leaks. What do you do? Who do you call? They'll all just be like, well, I fixed my part, it could be something else. So now you're stuck again, you're back to square one. But versus right now, if you call a company like us, we have the project management, the skills, the phone calls, the internet, everybody's on the chat, the knowledge. The knowledge is technology as well. You're mixing the knowledge of technology, what we've learned over time. We have all 3 different trades that working together to make a decision on how to fix this person's house. So that you may, 30 years ago, you might spend $4,000 and you still don't have a resolution. Right now, you may spend $10,000 with us, but at least you'll have a resolution. So that's a technology that needs to be appreciated and respected. There is so, to the point that I don't know any other companies out there that have the ability to do that simple thing that I've just shown you. A lot of companies out there will just do the one thing and leave side. Don't you reckon, Hannah? And So, a lot of companies